Hello there, everyone. Okay, brand new week, and I've reached Infinite. That isn't the deck we're going to be showing you for the most part, though. Let's show you two decks, a good one and a probably not so good one. Okay, so this is the deck that I used to reach Infinite. Now, I want to just credit KM Best just for the fact that I did see this in his post OTA video. I can't remember offhand if he said that that was off someone else that he had just seen the deck from, but if there is, I'll try and credit that on screen. But yeah, just a simple Aurora deck. I like the Ms. Marvel and Professor X flavour that was in it. Iska is a card that I've been wanting to climb with for some time. And Awesome Andy, well, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, this could be a bit of fun to include. So nothing too fancy in here in terms of, like, I wouldn't say it's like overly meta in terms of, like, yeah, I've got the Draxes and all those kind of things that are in the more dominant shells for Aurora. But it is still, I found it quite good for climbing because Iska wins lanes on her own, and then it's just basically, can you lock down a lane or can you put enough power in there with Ms. Marvel? So quite a few things I liked in there. But that is not the deck for today, as much as I wish it would be. Let's show you the one I'm going to be running. Yeah, this is a weird concoction again. We're going for C7 this time. I feel like I'm becoming the Cerebro guy by accident, but this genuinely started with the first Ghost Rider. I was like, I never play this card. I mean, you can see I've got a green border on it, but it is just a sign I do not play it. So in my mind, I was thinking, right, what could I do with this card? And instinctively, I'm like, well, Cerebro, why not? Is this going to be good? I just don't know. Let's give it a crack, though. So let me break down the cards and why they're in here. We've got Bucky Barnes, a 2/2, replaced by the Winter Soldier, a 2/7, which is the card we want for Cerebro. Only real card we're aiming to destroy in the deck. Yep. We got the first Ghost Rider, the centerpiece of this whole idea. 2/7 stat line, on reveal, discard the lowest power card from your hand, remove that card's power from this. Naturally, if we hit anything that isn't 0 or less, Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to reduce in power, and because we don't have Luke Cage in the deck, that will be a problem. So let's not do that. Then we've got Green Goblin, one of the first 0 or below power cards. On reveal, switch sides. Ideally, we don't play it. Ideally, we just have it in the deck as a target for the first Ghost Rider. Then we got Cerebro, 3/0, stat line, ongoing. Your highest power card here of +3 power. Again, very straightforward. We've got Mystique, 3/1 stat line, on reveal. If the last card you played as an ongoing, copy its text. Again, I like it. Iron Lad, 4/7. This could be awkward if we pull a Goblin. I'm not going to deny that. 4/7 stat line, on reveal, copy the text of your deck's top card. Ideally, it hits Cerebro. Worst case scenario, it hits a Goblin. So we're playing with fire with this card. Then we've got Symbiote Spider-Man, a little bit more targeted. 4/7 stat line, activate. Merge your lowest card here into this. Copy its text like it just revealed. That is mainly going to be a Cerebro target. I'll say mainly. If it isn't a Cerebro target, it's just going to be a 4/7 flat card. Then we've got Hobgoblin, 5 -8. On reveal, switch sides. Again, it is mainly not Cosmic Ghost Rider, first Ghost Rider food. Then we've got Lady Deathstrike. Worst case scenario, we don't try and play a Goblin and we don't actually land it. Lady Deathstrike can get rid of them. Plus, it's a way of getting rid of Bucky Barnes for the Winter Soldier. And then we got Legion, 5/7. On reveal, replace each other location with this one. Very handy if we face some unfortunate locations. We've got Star-Lord, Master of the Sun. I haven't played this card much since it came out. On reveal, next turn, you get +1 energy for each turn you've ended with unspent energy. So, not as powerful as it once was, and to be honest, that's the reason it's in the deck, because it will not gain power. But yeah, I think it could have a use in this game in terms of actually allowing us to play more cards towards the end of the game. And then finally, Eliath. Bit of a spoil sport card, but honestly, you look through the cards, there aren't a lot of 7 power cards. On reveal, remove the text from all unrevealed enemy characters here. So you might have a turn 6 play in mind with that. So in all honesty, I think this deck's going to be a load of cope. And if you want to skip ahead to the end, the deck stats, I don't blame you. But yeah, we're going to do 10 games. Let's see how we get on. Okay, no turn 1. Again, no turn 2, so let's skip ahead. Wild Child. Cave of the Dragon, that really could blow. Let's play Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's not Cosmic Ghost Rider, I keep wanting to call him that, the first Ghost Rider. That location is very scary and I haven't got a way of getting rid of it. Let's just play Symbiote for now. We might have to pivot away from Cerebro. Doom rules all, but it doesn't disrupt us. I can work with that. Yeah, I'm fine with doing Cerebro and then activating and playing... Actually, let's just reorganize that ever so slightly. We're going to do that, and then activate. Okay, they've got a lot of discounts here. A little bit of a risk converting the Cerebro itself into a targetable card, but let's see how it plays. Yeah, 7 energy isn't ideal. They cannot add energy here though, so we could go Bucky just to win. And then... Legion? Oh, hang on, saying that, they've probably got Ozymandias if they're playing... I actually don't know. Will they? That'd be beautiful. I was going to say it would have been beautiful if it hit Bucky. They haven't got anything in their hand. Alright. The rock goes... The Malekith. Damn. Okay. That was brave. Well, okay, it wasn't brave because they didn't know, but imagine Bucky there. That would have been perfect. What did they actually destroy for me? Doombot. Okay, that wasn't actually that bad for me. But yeah, very unfortunate that it just didn't hit that one card that I wouldn't have minded being destroyed. Unfortunate, but I will take that. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. All right, Dadol Kadol. Okay, we skipped turn 1 anyway, so no big deal. I was tempted to put Ebony Moore in the deck, but I thought I haven't got a way of playing into his location if we play him down to turns 1, 2, or 3, and I haven't got a way of cheating him on the board, so it felt like if we play Ebony, we're locking ourselves out. By the way, Vormir is the feature location when I'm recording, so we have got that going for us with Bucky. Okay, 3/6 power bump for Dormammu. And Uncle Ben's just chilling there. Okay, we can do Cosmic Ghost Rider here. Morag. I don't want to play Iron Lad because I would feel 100% certain it would hit Green Goblin. So we're going to play Symbiote Spider-Man. Bucky and Moira. Then we can do double Sunlord. And I've got no idea what... Oh, hang on. Sugar. We can't do that. As tempting as it was, we can't do it. Okay, let me rephrase. We can do that. It's just that we can't double it. Moira and the rock get destroyed for Dormammu's arrival. And Muse chills in the right. Oh. Okay, we have got Cerebro and Mystique on board. A little bit low powered, but let's see if we can rock with it. How nice would it have been, though, if we'd have pulled Bucky as well? I mean, we needed Cerebro, let's be real, but Bucky mid, like that. He's not trying to win that location. I don't think we have enough to overpower that for what it's worth. Yeah, it's about 16, so maybe we could go to 17, right? But then we've got to challenge this location more than we can, really. Oh, I miscounted with Mystique and Cerebro. Oh, well, I mean... That's just one where I feel like the curve is that high that even when we get Sunlord, it's like... You've got to do a lot. So I'm just glad I caught myself before I did Symbiote Spider-Man's merging into Sunlord. It would have been a lot of energy, but I don't think we would have really benefited from it. A decent opening hand. We've got Cerebro, Mystique, and we've got Bucky. Yeah, I'm liking this opening hand. And so if we got first Ghost Rider, we could go for Hobgoblin. I will take that. And I kind of like how this deck plays it with this line, because it looks like we're going to destroy, especially when you've got a featured location like Vormir. And then it's like, maybe not. I mean, Mad Sniper, by the way, you can't snipe me, I'm recording. Unless you're hacking me PC, then get out. Alright, so there's the Winter Soldier. They're playing Penny Parker down. Proscenium. Not a location I'd want to see. Let's do that. Just hold back on the Cerebro for now. I don't want to give them an Iron Lad, because that just feels very unfortunate. But I think it is the best option here. There's 4 cards that would be okay, 1 that would not be. Okay, we know a Live's coming. And they know I've got a Lithe, so just add that into the mix. Let's just play Cerebro. This is the awkward thing. If they are Nimzola, I cannot beat it, because the tiebreak would still... Why am I saying that? It would be 44. Yeah, so I'd still lose a tiebreak. So yeah, I feel like I need to retreat, but the only thing I'm thinking is, could I get away with that? No, 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 no. You're not getting me on a snap. And say, a little greedy. Okay, Cerebro Mystique in the opening hand, not bad. First Ghost Rider is a little bit unfortunately timed because we cannot play it. We draw 2 cards effectively this turn. We've got Legion and Goliath. Let's just play Cerebro down. I mean, I'm playing C0 right now. I still haven't got a Goblin. So I think I just go Hover here for now. Let's just go Sunlord, and then hopefully I can do stuff next turn. A lot of coping and hoping here. I swear there used to be a lot more 7 power cards. I think they've all had buffs up to 8 power like Onslaught. Alright, I've got 9 energy. Yeah, we can't really play that. Both goblins decided not to stick around. We could do this and this, but that would then leave us with absolutely nothing elsewhere. So I think we go 1. And 2. That will at least get rid of the Mr. Fantastic, which could reduce the power output. Baron Zemo giving me a Goblin. And Terax shuffles rocks into my deck. Here we go, win. I'm taking that. I mean, you don't want to do a video, right, where you don't get a win. It feels absolutely horrendous trying to upload something like that. I mean, I haven't done it so far, but I imagine it would be horrendous. So I can at least say I got 1 win with this deck. I want more. I don't want to be doing a 1 in 9 video either, but it's at least a promising improvement from where I was. Okay, first Ghost Rider and Green Goblin. Nice pairing. We've got Bucky Barnes to destroy at some point. I'm liking the look of the opening few cards. Let's do that. Also, I know there's a high curve in this deck, but what I will say, it does benefit Sunlord, so I feel like it's a compromise worth having, you know. Minstrel's Lab. A little bit unfortunate. I don't want to be risking random cards there for now, so we're just going to do that. Fastos. Okay, that's very helpful for me. Let's just Legion. I won't be able to play Star-Lord next turn. And then hopefully we can Cerebro Lady Deathstrike something. let's play that there. I wish it'd have a little ticker like the Spider Noir card does, in terms of just something to give you a visualization of if you're using, oh, you're skipping energy. There we go, so we've got 8. That is just enough to do that, which really isn't a lot when you look at it that way. So I'm thinking maybe we go about it like this, get double the power there, and then Cerebro. Because they've got Prow, they may do Techno-Organic Virus mid, which would then avoid Lady Deathstrike, but we would be going up to 10, so the double of Beta Ray is a bit of a concern as well. If they've pulled the... it is a hammer, isn't it? Have you got a hammer? This is a hammer, yeah, but Stormbreaker. Couldn't remember what they called it. Ooh, they did get it. I don't think we can climb over that. No, I'm going to say, we really did need to destroy Bucky. I mean, in reality, it was 3 and... was it 1 for Wasp? So that was full power. We were 10 in the mid with Cerebro, so I could have afforded to go Lady Deathstrike left. That is a bit frustrating. But yeah, I think I just had this feeling they were going to play mid, and I was like, I need to put more power there. 10 won't be enough, but 10 would have been enough. So yeah, that's a situation of second guessing yourself a little bit and coming out the wrong end of it. Okay, Bucky, Iron Lad, Sunlord, not bad. Hopefully we get the featured location. It'd be nice to destroy Bucky outright. Oh.
Victory.
I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that. That screwed me as well. So I'm grateful for their retreat, but we will do another game just to compensate. Also, a little reminder to people, don't instantly retreat on a negative location like that, because you never know, your opponent might also be playing Cerebro. Calvo con Kappa. We've got Bucky, Iron Lad, and Sunlord. We're drawing first Ghost Rider and Legion. Unless we get a Goblin, it's going to be Bucky next turn. X23. Alright, Bucky it is. Little side note, but I do think it's a shame that Black Bolt got buffed, because that would have been ideal in this deck with Black Bolt and Stature. That sounds right.
I want the throne.
Yeah, so that's going to be 3 power coming back onto Dormammu. It's right, my dog was barking then, that's why I didn't talk. I thought, easier to edit that out. Okay, 4 energy. I really don't want to give them Iron Lad. So I'm thinking, let's just play Cerebro for now. This is extremely messy, though. I feel like the only turn I haven't skipped energy is turn 2. So, what is it? 1 energy. So I'm going to get 4. So, plus 10 energy final turn, is it? That's unfortunate. I mean, Cerebro wasn't really going to be a powerhouse there anyway, but not what you want to see. Although I don't think they would have chosen to depower their X-23. Okay. Let's do that. So Dormammu's going right.
Great power comes.
Something tells me Legion's going to have to come into play. Oh, it's only 9, not 10, right. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do here. It's where I feel like I need Legion. But I then can't LDS. So I feel like the only thing then to do is that, maybe. But that won't challenge Dormammu. Maybe I could just do that? I don't know. Not seeing a line here, I'll be honest. That would have made the symbiote... Not symbiote, sorry, the Iron Lad safer. If I'd have thought about that, that would have been a cleaner path, I guess, but... Yeah, I needed LDS. That was the big issue. Destiny. I like that for making you do the thing. We've got first Ghost Rider, but... Okay, yeah, we've got Hobgoblin, we can play it. Not too sure what I think about the rest of the hand, though. We can't play Helicarrier. Deadlands. Also not a particularly favourite card. Location, sorry. To my knowledge, it could be rectified with a Legion if it was like getting too big, but hopefully it doesn't. Alright, hopefully this is Vormir. Kunlun, of course. Let's just play Bucky. I don't mind doing this because it's still skipping energy for Sunlord, and we could always try a Legion play later. I could really do with LDS. As much as I would like to LDS that, I've got that as well in mind. Plus, maybe I could read a lane on Goliath. So, multiple lines here that Sunlord giving me a bit of extra energy could help with.
You won't need this anymore.
Khonshu. Proxima. Ison. Scorn. Apoc.
I am reborn.
And Weapon H. Alright, so now I'm really back in Cerebro. That's it, you came at the right time, thank you. Still not entirely sure where we go from here. let's play that. I think that might be the play in terms of just filling the hands with junk of sorts. I say junk, they're all going to be 10 or more power. Ugh. I haven't really got multiple play lines, so maybe we go there. Either way, we've not got a lot of good spread here. Alright, that did work out quite well. It didn't help us in the end, but we did get the zombie horde up to the 10. Just needed Aldias. I don't feel like it would have been anywhere near enough we'd just played Mystique. Mystique would have been too small. I mean, yes, these would have gone up to 13, but we'd have won that lane, but we'd still been way behind here. So, yeah. Just an unfortunate one where we didn't get anything overly helpful, should I say. Mistro T. Okay, we got Bucky, we got Green Goblin. Not too sure what to feel about the rest of it. Copy the highest cost card, that would be Eliath. We've got Lady Deathstrike. I'm going to hold on to Bucky. If we draw Sunlord, it means we've skipped another turn. There we go, that was worth holding Bucky for. I do wish this was all through death. It would probably give the tempo a bit of better feel, but it's alright as it is. Well, that was a bit of a waste. Just give him a chance. Okay, Jubilee brings back Halla, which brings back Halla? Okay. Yeah, let's just do Sunlord. We won't get much back off this, but maybe it's enough to play Cerebro plus something. Okay, we're up to 9. Alright, it's got to be this turn. Let's see how that plays. I don't mind giving them 4 if I lose, but I don't know, we're getting 7 times like, plus 6 is... Right, let's just work it out. Play it and work it out. They discard Ghost Rider and Blade. And a Legion. Okay, that is a bit of a bummer. Well, not the way I wanted that one go, but yeah, give it its due. I mean, how I look at it, I wasn't playing Destroy, which was where that kind of Vormir reaction came from. This minute sort of bored, like, oh, we're doing Destroy again. But equally, dude, you're playing Halla. Halla is not that dissimilar from Destroy in this kind of environment, so I don't think you've got the moral high ground, let's phrase it that way. But yeah, I'm technically 2-7 now, but I think the reality is more like 1-7. Papa Bouba Diop. That does make me think of a footballer, but I think I'm just riffing off the name. Like, I'm sure there has been a Papa Diop, but I don't think there's been a Papa Bouba Diop. At least not in like the Premier League, where I'm aware of names, if you like. We'll hold on to Bucky in case the right location is Vormir. Alright, that's fun for them. Alright, wasn't Vormir. That's a bit of a bummer. Let's just go left with Bucky then. Can't say I want to Iron Lad right now, so I think Symbiote Spider-Man's going to come out next. That's okay, we can do that. Okay, buffs galore coming in. Yeah, we're going Sunlord. If we don't get Cerebro, I feel like we will probably struggle again. Maybe Legion could skew some of the power, but we got LDS to get Bucky activated. Other than that, I don't really know. Once again, not the ideal situation. I mean, I feel like I've been transparent throughout the entire video. C7 is not a deck. I've just thrown a bunch of 7-power cards in here with, obviously, the goblins and tried to make this work. But yeah, do not play this. This is, like, horrendous on your cubes. Okay, so they are locked in. We've got 9. 1, 2. Can I do anything more effective? 1, 2, maybe? I don't know, it feels a bit of a long shot that hitting the Cerebro, but it's saying that it is a 1 in 3. The Goblin's locked in, so it can't do anything. Sure, Cosmo. That's okay, we're not going in that lane. Ah. A little bit of a shame that. 1 in 3, wasn't meant to be, but honestly, again, that didn't feel too bad. You know, it's given me this feeling, right, that if there was just a really decent 7-power card, something that was like good at any time in the game, this would be like a really good, I'll say not really good deck, but it'd be a more serviceable deck. You know, it wouldn't be going on a 1 in 8 run, but it just feels like it's missing something, probably on the lower end of the curve, to be honest, because you think we've gone 2 2 3 3 3 and then it's 4s and up, so it feels like it just needs something that was more lower tempo. I'm not even saying a 1 because a 1's really high value, but yeah, it just feels like something was needed. I mean, I could have put Swordmaster in, but I don't want to be just discarding random even odd cost cards. Which, granted, you know, you could argue the goblins are, but I don't know, it just felt too, I don't know, it just didn't feel good, in short. Well, mainly because Cerebro and Mystique are both odd. You know, you don't want to discard them just when you're trying to hit a goblin. Alright, we've got Thunderbolt's Tower. If we don't pull first Ghost Rider, I'm tempted to just give them a goblin or 2. Just essentially make that location dead. I mean, as it stands, I can do Green Goblin and still have 1 goblin in hand for first Ghost Rider. Don't want that. Try and think what... I mean, we could Legion. I'm not sure I'd want to Legion these two, though. Well, I can't Legion Deep Space, but... yeah, Thunderbolt's tower isn't much better. We've got... well, both goblins are in hand, so I don't think it's that bad to actually Iron Lad here. There we go. Okay, so as much as I would like to do something more powerful, I'm thinking let's just Sunlord. Yeah, that's fair. They're both going down to 5, but they've already dropped power there, so I don't feel too bad about that. We've got 8 energy, so we can still Cerebro. I mean, I could just go like that for giggles. Not that, sorry, that, but I'm not sure I'd want to do that. What would this deck play, most likely? I mean, it feels like it'd be wild if I did that. Because we're not really playing C7 at the moment. Go on, let's try it. Yeah. And I've just reactivated their star brand. That was a silly snap on their side. But I'm taking that. That's a win. All right. Yeah, we go to C8 and win. So that actually flew in a way, but yeah, sadly the cubes don't really show the fun I had, as it were. 3 and 8, not good. 27.3% win rate, not good. Negative 10 cubes. I'm at infinite, so I don't personally care, but in terms of general gameplay, not good. Again, I feel like there's some interesting puzzle pieces here. I think Iron Lad might be something you could cut if you wanted to really push the Swordmaster angle. But if we just go off this screen for a minute and we just go to the broader game screen. Let's just go into the collection a minute. So just try and think about cards that could potentially get to 7. I mean, I suppose one way could have been you do Agony and then play a 5. So maybe Agony Ms. Marvel, for instance. That could have been interesting. I'm essentially trying to think of anything that gains power. I mean, again, it would have been a weird and wonderful option, but maybe Agony onto Titania. I mean, it's 5 power. What else would potentially get to 7 on its own? Yeah, Juggernaut, Horseman of War would be a 2/8. Merlin with the Omniversal gains +1, so you'd need 5 procs of Omniversal to get there. Mojo's +6, so that takes it out of that range. That's +4, so ideally a 2/7. I suppose with that kind of logic, we could have gone for Groot, would it be? No, even Groot's a 3/8 effective, so we couldn't even go down that line. Drax would be a 3/7 if he moves once, but would probably move more than once, so we couldn't risk that. You could potentially game speed so that you're playing on curve until a certain point when you're not, but that would take a lot of macro thinking. Yeah, I'm racking my brain here, but I am not seeing a lot of options. I mean, like I said, the only vanilla 3/7 is Swordmaster. If we're looking at the fours, which again we're going on the high end of curve, I mean, potentially you could play Firelord so that you could discard Cerebro and bring it back. Um, I don't like the idea of anti-venom because that just kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of what you try and do with the sevens. I mean, Phantom X potentially if you're discarding or destroying. Man Thing. If you were to attack in a Luke Cage, that could be an option. Stegron, again, not the worst. Proxima Midnight, you wouldn't want to just be playing the first Ghost Rider if you're doing Proxima, but it would be something. Yeah, maybe there was like a few options in the fours that I did overlook a little bit. I mean, Halco's now a 4/7. Maybe we could have used that to get a Proxima on the board. So yeah, just looking at the 5 costs, it's like Modot, maybe. I mean, I'm not really sold on that one. Let's phrase it that way. Stature, I wouldn't want. I mean, it says if your opponent discarded the game, so we're not controlling any enemy discard, so we couldn't really bank on Stature. It would be a 5/7. Again, I really wish Black Bolt for this purpose had not been buffed to a 5/8. And then, if I'm right, the only 2/7s are Alive and Spectrum, yeah. So Spectrum would have just gone completely against what we're trying to do with the deck. So, yeah, I don't think it's impossible to build a C7 deck that's usable. I mean, again, I bet Dexter's done one, but it just feels like a deck that takes a lot of macro thinking to get over the line. I mean, it just strikes me. There's so many cards that, like, clicked on the wrong one twice there, like Juggernaut Horseman of War, where it is +6 instead of +5, and that's obviously good for Juggernaut Horseman of War in a vanilla deck, but when you're wanting the Cerebro effect, it's like, plus you couldn't actually trigger that in a Cerebro deck now. I just think about it, but you get my point. You know, I'm talking about the plus power rather than the actual text. So yeah, just thinking out loud, the only other thing I could have potentially done with Ebony is play 0 in the deck. You know, go 0 Ebony, and that might have given me early options. Yeah. Let me know what you think, folks, because I don't think my deck construction was the best. I mean, I don't think it was the worst, but I don't think it was the best. Like I said, there aren't a lot of 7 power cards, but maybe I could have been a bit more creative in some of my options. I feel like I gave myself too many narrow play lines. Like, Bucky was only good if we got LDS or a Destroy location. First Ghost Rider's only good if you've got Green Goblin or Hobgoblin in hand. Symbiote Spider-Man's only really going to ever be activated on a Cerebro. Just so many little things that you look at and you go, Also, ironically, maybe, I probably could have played the first Ghost Rider, discarded the power. So, say it had been Iron Lad, for argument's sake, that I got discarded. I could have done that and then reactivated with Symbiote Spider-Man. That's a playline I didn't actually think of to get the 7 back on board. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. I think this is just a very tricky Cerebro to do. But let me know what you would do, folks. If you think you would swap in some cards that I've mentioned, if you think maybe I was just a bit unlucky, I personally think swap a few cards, but let me know. So yeah, we've done first Ghost Rider. I wanted to have a play around with the card, but let me know, are there any cards that you feel like you just never see or you never play? That's the whole reason this deck was created, the whole reason this video was created. So let me know, what cards do you feel are underplayed right now that maybe do have some viability, if not the viability I tried here? I'm going to be back tomorrow with a card preview. We've got Lady Bullseye, so we'll be looking into what that card is all about. Then we've got the first day deck testing with Lady Bullseye Wednesday. Thursday, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I've got a temptation to do something in Conquest, so we'll see what comes about then. And Friday is Free to Play Friday as always, so tune in for that. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I'll be back soon with more Marvel Snap videos. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.